believe it's been 70 years since Walt Disney first opened the gates to Disneyland and welcomed us all to the happiest place on earth? Whether you've been more times than you can count or you've never been, what? This milestone celebration is packed with nostalgia, new magic, and must-do moments. In today's episode, we're diving into everything you need to know about Disneyland's 70th anniversary. So grab your Mickey ears and your most comfortable walking shoes because this party is just getting started.
Ready for your fast pass to unforgettable adventures? Welcome to Talk Travel to Me. Featuring our Mickey Guru Travel Company expert travel advisors, this podcast will guide you in traveling with more ease, confidence, and a sprinkle of magic. Tune in for unique insights, insider info, tips, and personal travel stories that'll transform your journeys into exhilarating moments and lifelong memories. Fasten your seatbelt, grab your passport, let's embark, and let's talk travel.
Hey there, and welcome back to Talk Travel to Me. I'm Christy, founder of Mickey Guru Travel Company, and yeah, this here podcast too. As Disneyland marks its 70th anniversary, we're taking a walk down Main Street, USA, and across the plaza to Disney California Adventure to explore what makes this iconic two-park resort such a beloved destination, past, present, and future. From nostalgia-filled favorites to brand new magic on the horizon, we've got lots to cover. I am so excited to be joined by two incredible travel advisors from the Mickey Guru team, Jen and Nicole, who are just as obsessed with Disneyland as I am. Actually, to be honest, I think Jen might be the most obsessed of the three, but Nicole and I will fight for that position. I am thrilled you're both here with me. Before we dive into all the fun, why don't you each take a minute to introduce yourselves and share one of your favorite Disneyland memories?
Hi, I'm Jen Bauer. I currently live in Texas, but part of my obsession with Disneyland is because I grew up in California. So it's my home park, it has my heart, and I have found things that I love about Walt Disney World, but Disneyland will always be where I choose to go more often than not. I have a lifetime of Disneyland memories, but one of my favorites is seeing my 3-year-old daughter interact with Jack Skellington. I was never a fan of the film. I'm still not really a fan of the film, but she had watched it with my husband, and he was meeting at outside the Haunted Mansion, and he got down to her level and spoke to her, of course, sounding just like the character in the film, and they talked about what she wanted for Christmas. And it is the most precious thing, my 3-year-old girl in her braids face to face with this creepy skeleton guy having the time of her life. So that's one of many memories that I cherish from our times in the parks.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
Cute. Hi, I'm Nicole, a wife, mom, travel advisor with Mickey Guru for almost a year now, and I am a big fan of adventure, family memories, and all things Disney. This East Coast girly just took her first trip this year to Disneyland to celebrate the park's 70th anniversary with my family, and it's extra special because Disneyland and I actually share the same birthday. I wasn't sure anything could top my Walt Disney World love, but I am completely hooked on Disneyland now. It stole my heart, and one of my favorite memories was seeing some of the characters that you don't get to see in Walt Disney World. In my house, we're huge superhero fans, so Spider-Man, Black Panther, all of those characters love to see, and Baymax, also amazing interaction. So it's just kind of a reminder that each Disney destination brings its own magic, and now I love Disneyland.
How long do you think it'll be before your next trip, Nicole?
We've already been talking about it, so we'll see.
Nice. And I'm Christy. As people that are listening to the podcast know, I live in New Hampshire with my husband, and our daughter is in and out. We're kind of in that empty nest phase, but we are definitely a Disney family, most often to Walt Disney World. But my first visit to Disneyland was actually back when I was in high school. And although what I'm going to share is not necessarily my favorite memory, it is a memory. I went with my dad and my sister. He was there for a conference for work, some tech conference. And so the park was just Disneyland at the time, and it closed early. So it was just our group at Disneyland. And I was there probably for 4 or 5 hours, and I was bored. Like, what? I look back on that now and I'm like, they always say teenagers aren't that bright, but I was definitely not that bright when it came to that. Because when I visited again about, gosh, I guess it was probably 15 years later, and California Adventure was there, and I fell in love with it. So now, also an East Coast girly, obviously. I go at least once a year to Disneyland because it has magic that you just can't find at Walt Disney World. And don't get me wrong, like Nicole, like I love Disney World, but it's just a totally different experience. And I feel like it's one of those things that if you are a Disney fan, you have to go. That there's no getting around that. You've got to see the first park that Walt built. And although there is still a lot of nostalgia there from when the park originally opened, there's so much there. They add stuff constantly. So it is definitely a place to see for sure. All right, before I start giving it all away, let's let's jump into reflecting on what makes Disneyland so unique compared to the other Disney locations. And let's focus, I guess, on the ones in the US because I don't think any of us have been to the international parks yet, right?
Not yet.
All right, so let's focus domestic.
Well, I think Nicole mentioned the characters, and not only do they have characters that you don't see at Walt Disney World, it's just a much more chill situation in general. The characters wander the parks, like you're gonna see Mary Poppins ride the carousel and Alice and the Mad Hatter on the teacups, and they're not getting bombarded with people lining up to take pictures with them. That does happen, and they make time to take those photos, but it's just a much more natural and chill experience to see the characters at the West Coast parks.
Do you do you know why that is? Because I will say, as an East Coast person, going out there and literally I walked down the street next to Aladdin and didn't even realize he was there for a little bit and then realized that he was all alone and started talking to him. But why does that happen? Do you know?
I mean, I have a couple theories. If you look at the numbers, California is more of a locals park, so they sell more annual passes to people that live within driving distance. And I also think just being so close to Hollywood and those sorts of things, I don't know if that makes it have less of an effect on folks. I mean, obviously, Aladdin is not stereotypically famous, but he's Disney famous and he doesn't get mobbed. So I don't know, but I think it being a locals park has a lot to do with it too. And oh, we'll just see them next time kind of feeling.
Gotcha. It is
I,
cool.
I definitely got the same vibe when I was there because I was waiting in line for a ride and Bert from Mary Poppins walked by and I was like, oh my gosh. And everybody else was just going about their business. And they just were like, yeah, been there, done that, seen it. But for me, I was like, I haven't met Bert. I want to go see him. So I definitely think the locals coming in and seeing it so often plays a big part in that.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting because people will say to us, and I know as travel advisors we hear this a lot, but people will say to us that why would I go all the way to California when Disney World has four parks and there's just two out there? And I always kind of laugh because my first agent education experience at Disneyland included the information that there are actually more attractions between rides and shows at Disneyland and the two parks than in all four of Walt Disney World, which still blows me away. And it's been many, many years now, and I've not sat down with like a calculator to graph it out, but there is so much to do there.
It's just closer together. It's more compact. You get out of one queue and the next one is right next door versus having to walk a distance like you do at Walt Disney World. You can still get your steps in for sure at Disneyland and California Adventure, but as far as ride distance from one to the next, it's not far.
But even though there's more to do, I didn't feel stressed out. I was kind of just going with the flow. In Disney World, I'm like, go, 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 go. In Disneyland, I was like, okay, cool. Let's see what's next. What do we want to try? What is available like for a ride or showtime right now? And it was so much more laid back than it is at Walt Disney World.
It's that California vibe. I think
Yes, it is.
just more chill.
And it's funny, like I'm definitely an on-site girl at Disney World. I don't stay off property. I've made the mistake of staying off property a couple times at Disneyland and won't do that again either. But I know that the last time I was there, I was with a group of agents and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not you're not that walking that much. It's less." And when I looked at my steps at the end of the day, I went, that is more than when I was at Walt Disney World. But I had that, like, let's go back for a nap in the middle of the day or pool time, like all of that, because it's all so close. And which Jen and I have experienced the club level at the hotels at Disneyland.
I
And
have to.
oh, that's right, you did it at Pixar Place,
I
right?
did. Yeah.
Um, it was so convenient because at Walt Disney World, sometimes it's not always the best idea if you're not going to be close to the hotel. But we were literally in the middle of either one of the parks multiple times, and we're like, okay, it's lunchtime. Let's go back to the hotel. And we ate for free or included.
Yes. I loved staying at the club level at Pixar Place because with a little one, the food always needing to be eaten, and we could just
Yes.
go back and be like, okay, or breakfast before the park opened up. I'm not sitting down for a full character meal or buffet, which don't get me wrong, I love, but I wasn't feeling that pressure to eat a whole bunch, rush off to the park. We could eat at our own pace, walk for a couple minutes to get to the park, come back when he needed a snack. It just worked out so well. Dinner time, because we were struggling with time difference the first couple days,
Mm.
having something available whenever we wanted instead of having to make a dining reservation, so helpful. It's like, okay, it's 4 o'clock, but it's 7 o'clock our time. It's time to eat, and there's something there for us, and it was quick and easy to eat.
The food situation at Disneyland is so different too. And again, probably because of those locals, but there's a lot more of those quick service spots. There's less of a need for dining reservations,
Yep.
unless you want Blue Bayou, which by the way, that is the one that gives me more struggle than any other restaurant at Disneyland when it comes to making reservations. They book up that place for some reason.
Not as fast as Trader Sam's if you want that, but not so much dining, just a bar experience.
Right, which is quite nice too. Yeah, and I mean, I know, so Nicole, you've only gone and stayed on site so far.
Yes.
Jen, you've definitely stayed off site at Disneyland, right?
Yeah, I would prefer to stay on site. I haven't stayed off site since you and I last thought it was a good idea at a last minute trip, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Um, but there are a few hotels that I recommend for guests that want to stay off site. There's a couple that are bougie, and then Courtyard Marriott theme park entrance is really just as close as Disney's three hotels. They have a great water park for the kids, but you lose early entry. So if that's important, then got to stay at one of the three.
Yeah, and I have to say that we definitely made the mistake of, I mean, and it's very confusing even for travel advisors because the way that they advertise these hotels are like right next to Disneyland, and you're like, actually, it's not. It all depends. So that Marriott theme park entrance is important. Um, I will say the only place I will ever stay again off-site there is the JW Marriott.
Hmm.
I love that one and the Westin. So
Yeah,
those two.
those are my two because they're bougie.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm a bougie girl. People that you guys know for sure, and the listeners of this podcast know. But when you are at either one of those places, you're staying in Anaheim, right? And Anaheim is a city. There are city things that are happening out there. Whereas when you stay on one of the Disney hotels, there's three of them. You're in the Disney bubble, very much familiar to those of us that have Walt Disney World as our home park. I like that. And I certainly like the early entry, especially when it comes to going on Radiator Springs Racers. Like
Yes.
there's some attractions that like yeah, it really makes a big difference for. So, but we definitely do plan vacations for on-site guests and for off-site guests, and we have tried many of them, including the ones that give you earplugs because the road sounds are too loud. So we've learned
No,
all
thank
of
you.
the things. Exactly. All right, Nicole, let's talk about the timing of the celebration because that is important for people that are thinking about going specifically for the 70 years of magic.
Okay, so there is a lot going on. The celebration is supposed to last for a full year, but there is going to be a little bit of a pause when it comes to the holidays. What that pause looks like is a little unclear at this point, but the rumor is starting on August 22nd when the Halloween decor is coming out. The characters' outfits with like that beautiful purple and blue outfits that they have going on right now is probably going to change up a little bit. The rumor is saying there will be some type of 70th piece to it, but it'll have that little bit of a Halloween flair. Other things to know are going to be that the ticketing is going to change. So that special 70th anniversary for the summer ticket is going to be going away. So if you want a last minute trip before all the Halloween stuff starts up, now is the time to get it because that's going to be ending on August 14th.
The thing I think is going to be really interesting, and I gotta say it's a little frustrating that Disney is telling everybody that there will be a pause, but they don't know what that means. And we've been trying to get some feedback from them and information, and they're so wishy-washy about it. And I understand because Halloween's a big deal for Disney parks, but also we could do them both at the same time. So from what I understand, there's going to be some things that'll go away. The outfits might be one of them. But it sounds like they're keeping a lot of the entertainment in place,
Yes.
except I do think that we probably are going to have the Halloween projection show and fireworks versus the 70th one. That's kind of just a gut thing because the fireworks at Halloween time at Disneyland is just one of those things
Oh,
that are just
cool.
so better. Uh, But we will definitely be updating people as we go for that because I know I'm going in the beginning of, actually, I arrive on Halloween, but my first park day will be the 1st of November, and it all better be running.
The good news is that a lot of the merchandise should still be there. A lot of the specialty food should still be there. They actually just dropped the new line, like the product line. It's like this pink and blue and yellow ombre. It is gorgeous. There's a Loungefly bag. There's the ears. It dropped on July 7th, and I wish it was there when I was there. I love my little gold ones that say 70th anniversary, but I might have to make that second trip back there before the celebration is over just to get the updated merchandise that they've been dropping,
That's a reason, as good a reason to travel as any, right?
right? It's so cute. How do you miss out on that?
Well, you're talking to somebody who once booked a cruise so I could get a blanket. So I'm definitely not the right person for that. But if you want something that will be there when I go in November, I'm happy to pick it up. But we don't have to tell our husbands that, right? We could just be like, the only time to get it is if we have to go back.
Yes.
So it looks like the celebration is going to be continuing until the summer of 2026. But I also think that they extended it at least a little bit for the 60th anniversary. So they're kind of playing fast and loose with these dates right now.
It is definitely so vague, so much is up in the air, and I'm excited to see what's going to come from it.
It seems like their year-long celebrations tend to be about a year and a half. So,
I'm not complaining.
nope.
It's time for Mickey Guru Mythbusters, where we clear up the confusion, crush the rumors, and help you travel smarter, not harder. Let's bust today's myth. Today's myth is you need a park hopper ticket for every Disneyland Resort trip. Truth. That is true. Do not make the mistake that so many people do and think a base ticket where you visit one park per day will get the job done for you at Disneyland. Because Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure are literally just steps away from each other, the ability to hop between them is so crucial to having a good day at Disneyland. So always get the park hopper. That's your Mickey Guru myth busted. Take a breath, skip the stress, and let the magic unfold. Now back to the show. So now let's talk about the specific things that are included in the 70th anniversary that might have been available at Disneyland before and are making a triumphant return. And this is the part that makes me giddy, you guys.
My favorite is the Paint the Night Parade, which we haven't seen since the 60th anniversary. It came over from Hong Kong in 2015 for the 60th anniversary, and it stayed until um, early January 2017. So about a year and a half again, celebrating the 60 years, but it is reminiscent of the old Main Street Electrical Parade, but of course, plussed up like Disney does, millions of lights, wonderful music that will stay in your head all night long. So it is a favorite of mine. I love to see it, and I'm excited that it's back.
I was so happy to get to see it for the very first time when we went in May. Um, Normally, I am not a huge parade firework person. I'd rather get on the rides when the wait times are low. But, we
Breaking
were
my
walking.
heart.
I know. I'm so not the normal Disney person. Um, but like we were walking out, we were getting ready to go because my little one was tired, again on East Coast time. But when he saw the lines of people, he was like, "Can we watch?" And this is where the Disney magic comes in. Like there was nowhere to stand because we didn't show up early enough. And people made room for me and my son, and eventually my husband joined us, to be able to stand and watch. And when they saw how excited he was to see some of his favorite characters all done up in these lights, people made room for him so he could sit right on the sidewalk. And not only are those lights and the songs so beautiful, but the moments of seeing my son in awe and like pointing and yelling because he was so excited for some of the characters. It was such a beautiful moment. And we still go back and watch the video that I recorded of the Paint the Night Parade. So, highly
Well,
recommend for everyone.
and I was actually with Nicole and her son this morning, and we were talking about Paint the Night, and he had to show me the pictures on the phone. And he
Yes.
was so excited about Mac, and that's one of honestly my favorite floats too, is the Mac from Cars, and it was so adorable. Like his whole little face lit up like months later, and he wanted to tell me all about it. So, and I will say that is one thing that I listen to on YouTube. When I'm just working in my office, right? This time of year, like I'll put it on because the music to that is so good. So
Yes.
good. The other thing that's back, speaking of Pixar, is the Better Together, a Pixar Pals celebration. And I absolutely love this parade. I saw it years ago, but it's got more than 2 dozen characters from Pixar films. So they've got people, like Red Panda May and her friends from Turning Red. They've got Joe from Soul. They've got Luca, Alberto, and Julia from Luca. And then, of course, pure joy and sadness, inside out, all of that. And it is just such a cool parade. It's 25 minutes. It's during the day. They're usually doing it like 2 times a day right now. So 2:30 and 5 are the kind of typical time frames. But that's a fabulous one too, especially for littles. But I consider that myself in that category, and I'm almost 50.
We only caught the tail end of it, but again, some of those characters are so iconic right now. It was so fun to just watch and see their interactions. So, one of the things that we absolutely loved was our first day. We only did downtown Disney, and they have some adorable 70th anniversary backdrops or like displays. And we just took our time going down the alleyway. I don't know what you call that, parkway,
Yeah.
um, and finding all the different locations, taking photos of them. If you're wearing your Magic Band Plus, some of them will interact with you.
Ooh.
So that was really fun. I'm a huge Stitch person, and the very first one we found was Stitch and Angel. So I was in heaven. You can also find one in both California Adventure and Disneyland Park, right near the entryway. So loved those. There are also some special character meet and greets. I don't know because is my first time visiting Disneyland was for this, but I saw so many new characters that I have never seen in Disney World. I am talking Pete, Clarabelle. I missed Oswald. I'm so upset I missed Oswald.
Oh, we got to go
But
back.
I seriously, I told my husband, I was like, you don't understand. Like, Oswald, what? You don't get to see him anywhere. Um, but they're just everywhere. I mean, we would be walking down the road and you would just see characters popping up, and I stopped at every single one I possibly could. And the wait times were not as long as Walt Disney World, so that was a huge plus for me.
Yeah, I've seen Oswald before at California Adventure, but we were in Toontown, and yeah, there was Pete. Never have I seen Pete, and he's just wandering around Toontown causing
Yep,
trouble.
love it.
So there's a lot of fun going on. They have changed World of Color over at California Adventure for the 70th anniversary celebration to be World of Color Happiness. And some of the things that they have added have made me so happy. So I assume they have others as well. Um, this is the water and light show that's done in California Adventure. They project scenes from films and characters onto screens of water, which is crazy cool in and of itself. But they've really plussed it up. They added the Muppets to the pre-show.
Yay!
And they are explaining how the show may or may not be legally compliant. So imagine the Muppets
Ooh.
telling you how to behave and what needs to happen for a show to be safe. That I could have left after that because I enjoyed it so much, but they've added in the song The Rainbow Connection as they went through some of the classic characters. And then they've added a lot of the Inside Out characters. There was a whole boy band section of the boy
Ooh.
band from Turning Red that was just so much fun. Um, Highly recommend. It's definitely worth seeing. You can do a dessert party with priority viewing or a meal, or you can even get a lightning lane, not a lightning lane, but a virtual queue return time at noon if you want to reserve kind of your standing area to see it. So it's worth it for sure.
Highly recommend the dessert party because at that time of night, if you're like me, you are dog tired. And so I was happy to pay the price for just a chair. I don't even need to eat the desserts, but the chair was worth its money for sure.
Something else that has great technology that's coming out is the Wondrous Journeys, where they are displaying these beautiful projections on places like Sleeping Beauty's Castle, Main Street, the Rivers of America, and the face of It's a Small World. It's just this, I don't even know how to describe the beauty of it, except it is telling a story through these projections, and you're just in awe as you're watching it. I loved it. Have either of you gotten to see it yet? Well, I guess Jen, have you?
No, I didn't. And now I have to go back. So
Yes. Chrissy, you'll have to look at it when you go.
And that's one of the things that I love most about Disneyland, honestly, are these shows, the fireworks shows. And it's a little more special, I think, at Disneyland because it doesn't happen every night. So they
Mhm.
tend to do the projections every night, but the fireworks that go along with it are usually just on the weekends. Again, because it's so close to where people actually live, I think that California's like, okay, can you cool it? Um, so that's one of those things that makes it special for sure. I will say that one of the other things that Disneyland tends to do better is the food. If you've listened to this podcast before, you know we talk about churros. You don't get churros at Walt Disney World. You just don't do it. You get them at Disneyland or you don't get them at all. But there is a ton of specialty 70th anniversary items. And honestly, they're saying there's over 70 of them. So I'm definitely not going to try all of them. And I can't even mention all of them right now. But what I will say is there is a house-filled celebration beignet. Um, I've had the filled beignets before. It's not on my list to do again. So I do love the classic beignets, but I won't be trying that one by any stretch. I also think it's very interesting that they have a special pizza. Now, it's a barbecue chicken and pineapple pizza at Alien Pizza Planet. That I will be getting. I'm not sure what it has to do with the 70th anniversary, but it's there. And then Jen's favorite restaurant at Disneyland, Bengal Barbecue, they have grilled Tahitian ribs with white rice and pineapple slaw. Are you guys ribs girlies?
So
Depends
it's
on the
my
mood.
favorite quick service restaurant, just
Ah,
to be clear.
what's your favorite regular restaurant?
Lamplight Lounge.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
right. That's right. I forgot. I
No
thought I was all knowing.
contest.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
contest.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I have seen people that have had the ribs and they've said that they're really good. Like it's a boneless situation, so they didn't have trouble eating it, and they said the flavor was really good. I got my traditional skewers when I was there last time, so I couldn't speak firsthand, but it looked good.
I will say that the other thing that actually looks really good to me at Cafe Daisy, they have a chicken bacon ranch flop over. So it's basically like a little pizza sandwich, but it's got ranch, bacon bits, diced chicken, mozzarella, and provolone. That sounds
Yum.
so good to me.
I
And
love
That
I,
sounds
bacon.
like you.
right, it really is. And then of course we've got churros. There's a 70th celebration churro, which is a classic churro rolled in ube sugar and topped with marbled blue raspberry icing and sprinkles. Mmm.
So don't
Mm,
come at me for this.
I
I
agree with you, I think.
I have never had a churro before this trip, and everybody had been hyping them up. Disneyland so much better. So I was like, okay, I'm going for it. I didn't like them.
At all?
No, I don't. I'm not like I don't typically eat a ton when I'm in the theme parks to begin with because I'm just so like, let's go. But I like it was okay. Like I could do without, but I have to ask like what what makes the churros so much better for you here in Disneyland?
So I will say I always share with my family, so we tend to get a lot more. I was there by myself in June, so I only tried two of the specialty ones. I
Mm.
tried that ubi one.
It's too sweet,
No,
right?
no good. And I tried a tiramisu one.
Oh, I can't do
Also,
that.
not my jam. But I did then have to get an original, and the cast member broke it. So then he gave me the
No.
broken one and a new whole one. So I got to walk out of the park at the end of the night with two churros, and I was very happy.
All right.
So did you try the classic one, Nicole?
I tried the classic and the purple one that you were talking about. And
Okay.
they're just too sweet for me, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like the reason I like the plain ones, like the classic one for me at Disneyland, it's because they're made fresh right there.
Hmm.
So like when you walk up, they're just making them. So you're getting something that is like fresh. At Disney World, they make them off stage somewhere and bring them out. And people tell me that the humidity makes a difference, and that's what it is. I don't know, but I don't
Interesting.
know. I guess if churros aren't your thing, then they're not going to be your thing, I guess.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought I would love it, but I'll have to go back and try some of the other 70th
Right.
food,
I mean, seems like a good reason again.
right? I,
Right.
I
We
can
just
come
keep
up with a list of all the reasons to go back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
right. I love that. I love that. I will say there are other things on this list that are, 70th anniversary things that I guess if you're gonna have to come up with 70 of them, you've got to come up with some weird things. But they actually, one of the things that they count is a chicken pot pie baked potato, and it's at Troubadour
Ooh,
Tavern.
yum.
So I love baked potatoes and I love chicken pot pie. So that's definitely on my list. Um, but I will say that a lot of this stuff, there's so many different options. And I just happened to see a banana split churro over near Goofy's Sky School at Disney California Adventure. A classic churro rolled in chocolate sugar with banana sauce and vanilla sauce with a cherry on top. Yes. Yes.
Try them. I'm willing to try them all. So
Well, and to your point, Jen, it does usually work out really well when you're there with either your family or a group of us when we go, because you get one and then just break the pieces off and everybody gets to try it. Like I think, Jen, when we were there last, we got like the Fluffernutter churro, which
Ooh.
had peanut butter sauce and marshmallow fluff.
Oh,
It was
yum.
good, but it would have been too much for one person. Like it was great to try because even I like sweet stuff, but it was very, very sweet. Welcome to Hot Travel Takes, where I drop some bold opinions about travel that might make you smile, think, or maybe even disagree. Let's turn up the heat. Today, we're going to talk about souvenirs. It is true that Disney souvenirs are overpriced. You just can't get around the fact that $30 for a bubble wand is a lot of money. Also, don't buy the bubble wands, they're annoying. um, but when you are thinking about spending money on souvenirs, a lot of people will say, oh, just get some from the disneystore.com, get things from the dollar store and fill your bag and just surprise the kids as you go. I don't like that idea. If I'm buying a souvenir, I want to get it from the place that I'm in, right? I want it to be tied to a memory. So instead, what I recommend doing is getting a gift card that has the amount of money you are willing to spend on souvenirs. If you have older kids, it might be great to get them their own gift card so they have that ability to kind of budget. Take photos of the things that you are interested in for the first couple days of your trip. And then at the end, go back at your photos and go, all right, what am I willing to actually use my money for? That allows you to not get caught up in the moment where you could just waste money and buy things that you're going to get home with and go, I don't even need that anymore. I could show you some of those things because before I followed this little tip, I used to buy stuff all the time. All right, so that's your hot travel take for today. Agree? Disagree? Let me know on our Instagram posts. Either way, thanks for listening along. Now back to the show. All right, now let's talk about the new, like brand new things that are in place for the Disneyland 70th anniversary. And Jen, I want to start with the one that you did that I was insanely jealous about as you were doing it.
yeah, so I was there at the beginning of June, the very beginning of the celebration itself. And I got to take the 70th anniversary tour, which is a story of celebration. This is a tour that anybody can book the same time that you can book dining reservations, 60 days ahead of time. It's $120 per person, and it's a 2 hour tour led by one of the VIP tour guides. They take you through uh, several of the original spaces that were there on opening day in 1955. So we went to the movie theater and we went to the Mark Twain riverboat we rode on. And I'm not sure that I'd ever ridden on the Mark Twain riverboat, so I got to do that. And they're telling us if you're a fan of history and the parks, it was definitely a worthwhile thing to do. They took us on the railroad. They took us over by Utopia and explained how that came to be. Um, Showed us all different things down Main Street. At the end of the tour, they give you a lightning lane to a new attraction. You get a special celebration gift, and then you're also going to get priority viewing for Paint the Night Parade that night. So we got to come back with our lanyards to a special viewing area to see the parade, and they gave us some popcorn to enjoy the parade too. So it was definitely fun. If you're a history buff or a Disney buff, it's worth your time. So it was a good time.
I love that because you were able to capture some of like the essence of Disneyland itself. Again, from the East Coast, Walt Disney World, Walt never stepped into that park, but when you're in Disneyland, there's that magic of being where Walt was, and to be able to go to some of those opening day things that he was a part of. Oh, I have to do it. It's such a bucket list item for me.
I love when they give you those little extras too. So you have the 2 hour tour, but to have that special viewing area for paint the night and popcorn, I mean, I love some
Yes.
popcorn. I feel like
It
that
wasn't the
makes it.
normal popcorn though that you love. It was the 70th anniversary, like tri-colored sweet popcorn.
Oh. All right, so something that I have been so excited about since we heard about it, what, a year, maybe 2 years ago at D23, is the first ever attraction featuring Walt Disney himself. What? He's been
Yes.
gone for a long time. So, this is something that is opening at Disneyland. This is taking place in the area where we have seen great moments with Mr. Lincoln. And that has been closed because they are building this new attraction out that is Walt Disney A Magical Life, and it debuts on July 17th. So within just a couple of days, we're going to see this. And basically, they're going to be doing is they're going to have Walt Disney reportedly with his own voice giving kind of like a talk about Disneyland. Like, what? So I can't wait to see that because I definitely am somebody that absolutely loves the history of Disneyland and understanding what Walt brought to it, what he wanted for it, all of that. So that to me is going to be a really cool thing that's opening. I will not watch it on YouTube, even though I know all the bloggers and vloggers will have it within just a couple of days now, but I'm waiting because I want to see it in November for sure.
So I was there for a training, an agent education advanced program in June, and they told us about this. And they said that they got the family's blessing, that they had the family come in for some of the pre-tests and that they were sobbing because they said it felt like he was there, like it was so
Oh,
well done.
I'm
So,
gonna sob thinking about
right.
this.
Yeah. So they got their blessing and they were really pleased with how it turned out. So
oh, I can't wait. I love sitting next to the statue at Epcot, never mind like actually getting to hear him sit up on stage and talk to us. Like, I feel like that's been something that I've always wanted.
I like get chills thinking about it, to be where Walt was and then to like hear his voice and talk about everything. It is going to be so amazing. So, something else that is new this year for the 70th anniversary is the key to Disneyland. And this was one of the highlights of my trip with my family. Um, Basically, what happens is you get to purchase this key, and it's a little more than a foot long, so it's a little bit bulky. But you take it throughout the different lands in Disneyland Park, and there are kiosks hidden throughout each land. You have to find them. You get to insert the key, and something will happen, like bubbles, or like depending on where you are, there might be like a little show on the kiosk. Um, it's a lot of fun, but I will tell you, there are some tricks to it. One, turn it on before you put it into the kiosk. Two, make sure the light is on because we had to go back and like try one of them a second time. Before you walk away from the kiosk, you need to make sure that the new light for that land has lit up. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back and do it because at the very end, once you've gone through all 9 lands, a special little compartment will open up and there is a specialty pin that will be in there. We were able to get one for Star Wars, so was the Millennium Falcon. And again, we're huge nerds, so we're happy with whatever we got, but Millennium Falcon was awesome. There are other ways to get these pins if you see a cast member with them that are trading them, but people are like finding them like wildfire. So there are 9 different pins for each of the lands, and it was just such a cool experience. And if you listen, there'll be like little things that play as you go into the kiosk. Pro tip, try and do it in one day so you're not carrying the key around nonstop because that was a little There's a lot of frustration when I have a little kid who wants to wave it around everywhere. Um, but also, when you're going on rides, you're taking the key with you so that it doesn't get taken away, like in the carriage or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that was not super fun to ride with. So try and get it done in one day. And if you can't find some of the kiosk, you can actually type it into the My Disney, um, the, what is the name of the app? Oh
The
The
gosh.
Disney.
Disneyland app.
Thank you. There, if you type into the My Disneyland app, you can type in like the kiosk for the 70th celebration, and it will give you an idea of where some of them are.
Oh,
So I was
awesome.
trying to convince myself that I did not need this. And
You need it.
well, the universe said I didn't because I went just a few days after the celebration had started. So they were sold out across all of the shops of the keys. So I did not need a key. It turned out the universe said.
So, a pro tip I saw was if you go further into the park, we actually found ours right outside of It's a Small World. There was a bunch of them there, but they were sold out like everywhere in the front of the park. So,
Yeah,
further in
no,
is
they were
better.
sold out everywhere when I was there. But I have heard that back in Toontown, back in some of those areas, you're more likely to find them. And I think they're back now, but they were not last
So,
time.
Jen, are you going back before it's over? I feel like your family
I
needs to go.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Have to see.
Oh,
Never
well, I'm
know.
gonna.
Sometimes I say no and then something comes up. So
I'll be there
you're
at the
safe,
beginning of
Heather.
November. Come on,
That's a
come on.
definite no because I'm seeing you shortly after that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm flying from Manchester to California, spending a week there, flying home on a Friday, and on Sunday I'm getting back on a plane to go and meet Jen in Fort Lauderdale for the Disney Destiny preview. But
Woohoo!
Right.
but you could still come to Disneyland. I'm gonna still be there. So, just saying, just saying.
Appreciate it.
So,
Appreciate it.
another thing that's happening is at the Tapestry of Happiness. And it is one of those things that it's a small little thing. It's going to be a display that's going to be happening on the It's a Small World building, which at Disneyland, again, Small World is just better at Disneyland. Sorry. But it's 4 times a night. They're going to be doing this little tapestry show. They're going to be playing the song Celebrate Happy, and they're kind of just, it's a love letter to Disneyland, really. So I'm excited to see that. It's not something that is going to be a showstopper necessarily, but it is going to be nostalgic and kind of just remind us of how wonderful Disneyland really is at the end of the night when you probably already have figured that out, but that's what that is.
It'll just be one of those like extra little touches of magic as you're walking by and it catches you, and you're just gonna stop and stare. It'll be
Yeah,
wonderful.
Okay.
absolutely.
Speaking of a small world, beginning on July 17th, which is the actual 70th anniversary of Disneyland, the Small World attraction is going to get a new verse to the song. It's a small world. Richard Sherman of the Sherman Brothers, who wrote a lot of the music for many Disney films, Mary Poppins, things of that era. He gave a final gift to Disneyland before his passing in 2024. And this was, he wrote another verse to It's a Small World. So everyone will get to hear that added to the end of the ride beginning on July 17th. And I've read the lyrics, and with everything going on in the world, let me just tell you that it hits. So
It
I'm looking
does.
forward to hearing that.
I saw a lot of people talking about it the other day, and I have not read the lyrics yet, but I am excited to go and hear it there. I think they also have like a new doll that's coming too on It's a Small World. Yeah, it's Miguel and his trusted dog. I'm not going to try to say the word because I'm not going to butcher it. Dante from Coco are going to be added to that. Which, if you have not been to Disneyland yet, their version of It's a Small World, like I said, is better. One of the things that makes it better is that some of the dolls in the show, in the ride, are actually characters that you'll recognize from Disney movies, which is not typically what we see at Walt Disney World.
Another thing that is new is the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade, which is a super cute little parade throughout Disney in the middle of the day. And I have to tell you, for all of my Duffy Bear, Shelley May fans, like you have to check this out. My brother-in-law actually got me hooked on Duffy Bears because he's huge into them. And to just watch them go by on their little parade vehicle, I don't even, it's kind of like a scooter, but it spins around. Um, it was so cool. Like you don't get to see that in the US anywhere. Overseas you definitely get to see that, but like here we don't get to typically see them, and I was so excited. They're so adorable. You also have some other great characters, like some of the princesses. Merida was there, which love seeing her. It was just fun. It was a quick little parade, but it's perfect for the middle of the day to have a little break. I loved it.
There is definitely so much to do during this celebration. We kind of grabbed up the top of it. But also all of the things that always make Disneyland an incredible destination are going to be going on too. And as Nicole mentioned, there is a limited time ticket and hotel offer. You can get a 3 or 4 day park ticket at a discounted price this summer. So if you're looking to go, and honestly, as we're recording this right now, it's beginning of July, and I think that there is still availability at the hotels at Disney and also the Good Neighbor hotels that we would recommend. There's definitely some available too. So I would definitely recommend reaching out to one of us soon because it is going to be a slightly busier time frame at Disneyland. But as we talked about in the beginning, this is really more of a locals park. And so they are not as, what should we say, like impacted by crowds in the same way as we see at Walt Disney World, except do not go the week between Christmas and New Year's. Please do everybody a favor and not do that because it is very, very crowded. But again, the Christmas season there is pretty fantastic. So I don't want you to miss that entirely.
I
But
wanted to say too that any of you who are on the East Coast and not sure you want to make it all the way to the West Coast, it is worth it. And a huge plus to being awake earlier is that Disneyland doesn't get busy until a little bit later in the day. So you're awake, you're getting in, I was walking onto rides beforehand. So even though there's this big celebration, East Coast people get out there and enjoy it before the parks fill up in the middle of the day. It is so worth it.
And honestly, that's my favorite tip of all for us East Coast friends because the idea you get there early, go do that, all of the stuff in the morning, have lunch, then go back for a swim. You like the way Disneyland is just set up, it's so convenient to be able to do that. Swim, even adults like to have a nap.
Get a nap. Yep.
Yeah, and just really enjoy kind of just more a leisurely pace and then go back in the evening because there is so much there. Also, I have to point out for those of us that are really familiar with Walt Disney World, the weather in Southern California,
So much better.
so much better. Even when it's hot, because in the summer it's hot, but it's not humid. So
California hot is different than Texas, Florida, anywhere in the South hot.
or even New Hampshire hot. Right now, I'm still hiding
Mm.
in the house because it's been like 90 and like 120% humidity every day, and it's just
Oh,
nasty. It's gross. Um, and California's not like that. So, anyway. Thank you so much to Jen and Nicole for joining me today and sharing all the Disneyland excitement. It's always more magical with friends, which is why I'm trying to get both of you come in November. If this episode has you dreaming of churros on Main Street or castle selfies at Golden Hour, it might be time to start planning your own Disneyland Resort vacation, and we would love to help make that magic happen for you. If you know someone who could use a little sparkle in their day, share this episode with them. We promise Disneyland joy is contagious. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep planning, and keep a little magic in your everyday life.
Thanks for listening to Talk Travel to Me. We hope this episode cracked open inspiration for the treasures that await you at your next dream destination. If you love the show, please review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. At Mickey Guru Travel Company, we're your trusted guides for theme parks, cruises, resorts, and more. Visit our website at mickey guru.com to learn more and book your vacation today.